All right, call to order. Board of Trustees special meeting on September 19th, 2024, at 6 p.m. Everyone is in attendance except for Trustee Whittick and Trustee Stewey. Let's stand for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. No one is here with public comment inputs. We're just going to move on to the next part. Can I have someone consent to the agenda?
I will consent to the agenda.
Second.
Second.
First by Stein, second by Johnson. The only order of business that we have to discuss tonight is the discussion and possible approval of the 2025-26 snow removal contract from Asphalt Contractors. Thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate it. We would have made I would have approved this or had you look at this last week, but we're still just waiting a little bit longer to see if we had any other anybody else, and we did not. Latiria did go to great lengths to put it out there and contacted anybody that Chris had contacted in the past to see if anybody was interested in bidding. She just didn't get any other bids. So the only bidder we have is Asphalt Contracting. One thing we did look into also was our former, just so you're aware, our former Mike, he is no longer doing this. He has a different job. He sold all his plowing equipment. So that was a bummer.
Yeah.
So this is, you can see three bids in front of you, the 2021, 2022, and 2024, not bids, but you can see the different contracts and how the rates have changed. They've gone up a little bit. I think the one concern I have is I know when we accepted them in the past that Ernie mentioned that they go along the mailboxes. However, that is not true for the inside of some of the roads because there are no mailboxes on that road. So I think my biggest request to Asphalt is to ask them if they can stake any of the yards where there are no mailboxes, because people's yards are torn up. Part of it is from the road pavement, part of it is from, or do we ask our maintenance guys if they can stake them for us?
I'm wondering if it's to have, I mean, I know we kind of have an idea where they are, but if there are places where they know that they want it marked themselves, like they know how their trucks turn, they know their turn radius, they know kind of, they might have an idea of, yeah, if this is marked here, then we would see it better. Instead of us guessing what
I would like them to come out personally, because that's what Mike used to do, and we would just stake it.
Yeah.
I know Ernie says they go with the mailbox, but like I said, it's Linda's side of the street, there's no mailboxes.
Right.
They're all on the opposite side of the street. What do you, Laura, any thoughts?
About
Yeah. We've had a lot of issues with staking, and everybody just staking everything this summer. It's been pretty awful. And I'm trying to get away from people constantly putting stakes in their yard all summer long.
That's why I feel it really would be better for the contractor to do it, because they know what they're doing, and you have uniformity of all the stakes on. And there's no excuses that like, oh, I didn't know the stakes were there. That's why I tore up the yard. And I think that you should request that of them. We have asked them in the past, they do that, and they just don't. Otherwise, they use little tiny wooden sticks. Snap right
Which
down.
is not great.
It's
no.
not good.
No.
Mike had the big, not rebar, but it was like
The
a
big metal
that he
stuff.
would pound them into the ground. I don't know if he still has those, if he sold his equipment. He may not have them, but if he does, and that'd be a good thing to have, some company buy it. Asphalt Contractors.
Well, and we had some neighbors that put in some very short
Yep.
stakes that
are dangerous.
were really dangerous, so I wouldn't. The other thing that I think, the only other thing I would say to Asphalt is the salt dumping. They cannot dump, they just dump salt sometimes, and
And we've asked them several times, don't do that, please
Yeah.
don't do that, and they continue to do it. And another thing that bothered me a lot about asphalt is, they come in when it's not necessary. It's like, okay, we got 2 inches of slushy wet snow, it's gonna be 45 in the afternoon. Why? And that's like, okay, well, that's $12,000.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, okay, our budget's 25,000 or 30,000, I think it is. But it's like, come on, guys, what are you thinking here? And
Well, and I think they also have to understand, they're in Union Grove, right?
Yes, and so
It's different in Union Grove
exactly, I was
versus,
just gonna say that. It's over past the interstate or whatever, and they could check, see what we have here. I mean, I don't think it's asking too much, because when you see that wet, heavy, sloppy snow, it's just being shoved out, it's just water that they're plowing, and it's in 45 that afternoon.
So
And
how,
that's all.
so can we maybe, maybe there have like a, 2 or 3 contacts where, I don't know if it's us being more proactive, saying, hey, text and saying, you know what, we don't need you today, or if it's them contact us saying, hey, we're coming, do you need us? I don't know.
I know, I've talked to Ernie about this
I don't know.
before, because there was one time that they didn't show up, and it was like going to be freezing,
Right.
and then it was gonna be like rain. I was like, why are they not out here? Oh, they'll get here eventually. I'm like, why are we not in contact with them? So those are the 3 questions I guess I would have.
And I
for
have
them.
a contact there,
Is-
that contacted last
Can
year.
they stake, can we watch the amount of salts they're using? Because we have had moments where it's just been a mountain of salt in one area. And because we are so significantly in a different part of the, can you contact somebody that is here? The president, or treasurer, one of the trustees, just to get our opinion on if they actually need to come out? Doesn't that make sense? I don't know if they'll be annoyed with us, but I
It's
think
almost like you need a plowing ad hoc committee just to be
something, like, come on, no.
be the, watchers of it. Like weeds and signs.
Maybe we do.
And snow blowing.
Yeah. So, okay,
One thing that really bothered me too is when they're dumping salt, the salt is the most expensive part of the invoice.
Easy to
Easy to just dump salt, and it's just like, and money is just going, and it's just like, what are you doing?
right.
And I just disagree with that. And I've talked to so many residents about the salt
Well, they don't calibrate their trucks.
now, and the wrecking the lawns.
Okay.
And I've said to them, we've had them for 2 years, their contract is up, and we won't have them next year.
I was hoping that we wouldn't, but it's not. We don't have any other option.
Okay. Now, I contacted a couple people today, and there's one person who is extremely interested, is a company, but he is out of town until the 30th. Then I contacted another person that I dealt with, and she said she knows of 3 other companies.
So
And-
do we want to wait until October?
I'm just wondering,
I do not need to move on this.
Yeah.
The only reason, Laura, I think I wanted to have a special board meeting was because I don't want to wait and then lose out.
Yeah.
But I am not beholden to asphalt
Yeah,
contracting.
yeah, and I just thought, I can't in good conscience vote yes on this,
Okay.
because
I
I
can't
know
either with these
that
rules.
I've said to people, just be patient, okay, be patient, because we're gonna get somebody new. And
Okay.
another thing I found out today is Elmwood Park has a reputation of having very difficult people in the neighborhoods. And like, I heard that from 2 people, and they're like, oh yeah, everybody knows about Elmwood Park's customers out there. And it's like,
Well, we know,
And
that's why Mike quit.
that's when Mike quit. And this was something even before I came onto the board, they said, oh yeah, way back then. And it's just like, I said to some of the people too, let's talk about Racine. In Racine, they do the major thoroughfares, bus lines. Then, if they have time, they'll come around and they'll do the side streets, maybe 2 or 3 days later.
Right.
And it's all been driven over, and it's all icy,
Right.
and then you try to get through. And there are people here that think that if we get half an inch of snow, they should be out there with blowtorches drying the pavement. And it's just like, no, guys, this isn't what's gonna happen. You have to understand that these guys are doing the best job that they can, and you can't be out there yelling at them, punching their trucks,
Right.
cursing at them, and it's just like, oh.
Okay. So I was joking kind of about the ad hoc plowing committee, but maybe we actually do need one. And then that could be the source of the complaints instead of, you know, if you have neighbors that are complaining and punching trucks, you know, that, you know, we could address it, you know, like as, you know, as a committee and take those, you know, complaints and then would be like one communication. So if we had like, you know, say maybe 5 people come and complain about the plowing, well, we can make that as one complaint and push that forward because we've got 5 as opposed to like, you know, 4 o'clock in the morning interactions where punching trucks?
Well,
I don't know, it's just a thought, because it seems like this is one of the weirder, like this thing's been like a thorn in our side apparently since
well, and I think
2021.
if we don't have 3 bids, then we don't have to vote. We don't have to accept if we only have 1 bid, but we should probably put the bid back out there.
Well, I don't know if you have to do that. I think you contact companies. And, you know, back in April, I said, make sure we start this early because most companies will have their contracts all taken care of August 1st. And they know who they're gonna be
Well, we
servicing.
had this out, but nothing coming through.
Really? When did it go
I
out?
don't know. In
But,
August.
yeah, about a month ago.
Okay, yeah, so
And
that,
we just had nothing.
Yeah, it was on time.
yeah.
And we
But-
had, and we emailed, like she emailed so many companies and nobody bid on it.
Really? Okay, because, you know, they said.
That's my only concern is if we wait, are we gonna lose asphalt contracting? And then we have these other possibles that are very interested.
Wasn't it like April though? You brought it up or no?
Yeah, it's
Right?
like,
I mean,
yeah,
that right after,
Yeah,
not
it's
shortly
just
after
like-
we were done with the snow. I thought you did. I could
Yeah.
be wrong.
and then I, you know, just kind of said, make sure we get on this and contact companies and say, we are going to be putting bid out.
She did that, but
Okay.
nobody has
Really?
nothing.
Okay,
I mean, she used all of Chris's
Yes,
contacts.
I didn't have many contacts except for what he had.
yeah, when Chris put the first bid out, he got no one either.
That's why I'm wondering, I feel like you do have to put out another bid.
Yeah, and if he had the same contacts that didn't bid the first time, why would they bid the second
Well,
time?
and then, Tom Mills checked in with Mike
Uh-huh.
and the person that does Elmwood Plaza
Uh-huh.
to see if they'd be interested, and they weren't.
And I checked in with Mike too. I said, you know, I didn't hear back from him, but I said, do you know of anybody else? And he just didn't respond. So he might have been out of town, I don't know.
So I guess my biggest concern is in September. I don't want to not have anyone. We can't not have anyone. I don't want to necessarily accept it.
I know.
These two, this one right here.
Are you required to do a 2-year contract?
That's my question.
Or could you accept 1 year for them and then revisit it again?
Well, the original contract was a year,
Yeah.
and then it went 2 years and 2 years. That's what,
And this one that they gave us is for
2 years.
2 years.
And it goes up, but it's similar for, like exactly what we paid last year until you get to the pickup 4x1 skid loader. And then it's like 2 cents change for the salt and silo. Salt. 2 or 3 cents per percent.
I mean, I'd love if we could just make this a 1-year thing. I think I feel like something.
You also have stipulations. If they were to actually accept your stipulations, would you go with them?
Yeah.
The stipulations you guys have mentioned?
Yeah, I love this contract with Jessica last year when we had those issues and they just kind of work on it as you go.
I just really did not appreciate the dropping of salt. And the fact that they won't put in any, stakes. And I get what Ernie's saying, but again, there's one whole side of the road that does not have stakes.
Can we counter offer and say, take it, if you do states? Or something like
I
that?
mean, don't dump pounds of salt in the middle of one road.
Well, I was thinking about that a little bit. I'm not sure if it's just their machinery that's doing that.
Well, that's
because-
why they don't calibrate their truck.
Okay, well, there you go. Because once you start that thing spinning, well, maybe there's a big clump that comes out initially, then it spreads evenly after that. I don't know.
then we shouldn't be charged for that.
That's just it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kendall, because there was another, when I talked to this gal out in Union Grove, she said, I said, well, one of your contacts is an asphalt contractor who's contracting, and she's, oh no. She said, oh no. She said there are a couple people, you know, that have contracted with them, and they're really livid about the salt because just they're dumping it. And she goes, they're so mad that they will not control their salt. And I just have a feeling that it's going to happen again. And we're going to hear about
So, do you know the companies that you're thinking of?
There's, I don't know them for sure, but I did contact Tara with Grove Power and Equipment, and she put me on to 3, and then I contacted Tim Plaska, and he put me in contact with another one who's going to be on for September 30th. But I understand, we're in a predicament because you need to have this. And the time that we don't have this, we're going to get slammed with 100 inches of
People are going to be pissed at the president.
Oh, yeah. I gotta go to Jamaica for the winter.
Oh. So,
I mean, I kind of like the idea, I mean, either we wait and then cross our fingers and all of our toes, or having a year contract with some of the stipulations, saying, you know, here's what our concerns are, we would like to do another year because we have these concerns, and put a little more urgency on them to not make us concerned, and then, you know, maybe reconsider after that, and then in the meantime, look for other options, because you're right, I don't want to get stuck with nothing.
okay, so I get what you're saying. I think we reach back out to Jessica and let her know that we're gonna make it official in October. We want a 1-year contract. These are our concerns, and can you do any of these things for us? And then reach back out and let her know we are waiting on 2 other bids. I don't
Because we
forget,
only have 1 bid, and that's
Yeah.
the reason we need 3 bids, we only have 1. So we're doing our due diligence, trying to get 3. So it's not like we're just looking to outshop them. We really do kind of need more, or would love to have the input. Realistically, probably should have.
I guess if she says, no, I need an answer now, we might have to come back together and
Well,
make a
that's
decision,
me too, but.
which I hate to do to anybody, but it's only been 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Baseball season's over, so. Fall ball. What do you think?
I'm just thinking, yeah, the salt they're dumping way too much, and they're just flying through and
Yeah.
tearing stuff up, because either A, they've been up all night and all day and they wanna get home, or B, they got the next job to get to.
Right.
You
So-
know, if Laura's saying that she's heard from people that they're not, you know, accepting them back, there's a reason for that too. You know.
And I think we've been talking to them for years about our concerns. Nothing's changed.
Right.
Makes you think it's-
I just don't want to not have any
I
more
know,
inputs. That's my biggest concern.
But yeah, I guess if we call them, they're like, no, we need this sign, we need to get it vote, I guess we're back here.
Okay. Will you
I'm okay with
make
that.
it a priority tomorrow and
Yes.
just let her know that we will make a decision at the October 10th board meeting?
Yeah, I do.
And we're just waiting to see if we have any other bids, because this was the only bid that came in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 1-year contract, we're concerned about the amount of salts that they just throw on the roads.
Asking for stakes, and then lawn damage is another issue.
Lawn damage and because of the stakes, and just dumping too much salt. Like without, and we don't know if it's, I think it's because they don't calibrate their trucks properly. But then that is the biggest, one of the biggest expenses. And just showing up when we don't need them, because they're in Europe.
All right.
You guys are gonna give me a heart attack, I'm gonna be worried about this now, I'm not gonna get any sleep. All right, so, with that being said, we are adjourned.